Hey everyone, welcome to Bake with David. So as you know, I wanted to explore doing more breads this year. So what I'm going to do is a recipe from one of my favorite bakers, which is Mary Berry of the Great British Baking Show. So I'm going to be making her honey glazed walnut bread today. I haven't done a kind of seeded bread before, so I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm going to use my handy mixer today. You could mix it all by hand as well, but the kneading would be a lot more. You can do it a lot faster with a stand mixer. So I'm going to put everything in here. Make sure you've got the dough hook on your mixer, and that will make it a lot easier because normally kneading would probably take at least 10 minutes versus when you do it in the mixer it's only about 5. So I'm going to start putting everything in. So we have 2 kinds of flour. White strong bread flour and a whole wheat flour. So just put both of them in there. One thing that I learned with doing with breads itself as well, you gotta add yeast and salt, but don't mix them together. Try to put them on opposite sides of the bowl. So I'm going to put the yeast on the left hand side, because you don't want them to mix, because then they'll start to react already. And then we will put the salt on the opposite side, so that way that they don't start to interact right away. They will interact, but we don't want them to interact while we're putting things together. So then as well, I'm going to add some olive oil and some milk. I'm going to put a portion of it in right now, and I'm going to start mixing this together, and as it starts to form a dough, I'll add more of the milk. But I'm going to put the mixer on. It gets a bit loud, so I'm going to come back to you when I have it mixed so you can see what it looks like. Okay? Hey everyone, so welcome back. It took about 5 minutes, so the dough should start to look like this right now. It's like a smooth, elasticy. And now we have to add the walnuts and the sunflower seeds. When I'm kneading anything on the counter, I usually don't add additional flour. One of the tricks I had learned from reading Paul Hollywood's book was to use olive oil on your counter when you're kneading it, rather than adding additional flour and drying it up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on the counter, spread it out. And now we're going to incorporate the walnuts and the sunflower into the dough in itself. So we'll take a couple of minutes to do that. I have already this prepared, so just kind of going to knead it in. It will take a little while to do this. We want to get the walnuts and the sunflower seeds all incorporated into the dough. Okay, so it will just take a little while to get it done, and we'll come back in a few minutes and I will show you how it looks then. So we have all of the walnuts and the sunflower seeds incorporated into the dough. It looks like that. It took a while to do. It wasn't an easy thing very messy on the countertop, so it's better that you didn't see that. But it took about a good 3 or 4 minutes to get it all incorporated in. So what we're going to do now, because this recipe makes 2 loaves, so we're going to divide this in half. Right. And then basically shape each one. So in terms of shaping, what I like to do to get the round ball is fold it over like this into the center, and then turn it around and gently keep twisting it around, and also kind of stretching the dough. So twist, tuck under. Twist, tuck under is probably the best way to describe it. Hopefully you can see it on the video. And that is kind of, then you'll get a nice bowl shape form. So we have to get this to prove now. So we have to put it into a baking tray, which I have here. The one thing about this recipe is that it needs to be proved once. So what we're going to do is put this in here, and then what you have to do is put it into a plastic bag, which I have here. You put it in. I normally like to prove at least for an hour. So we're going to put this in the hour. Don't have the plastic touching the dough itself, so leave it in a warm place. If it's like on top of your stove, just put it there, wherever the warmest place. Leave it there for an hour, and it should kind of increase, if not double, in size. And then after that, we're going to prepare it and put it into the oven, and we'll be back at that point. So as you can see, the dough has proved it's doubled in size, give or take there. One way to tell from what I've learned if it's proved enough, I actually had to let this for an hour and 30 minutes because my kitchen is a little bit on the cooler side. But if you make a little indent into it, it might be hard to see on the camera with your finger, and if it slowly bounces back and leaves a little indent in there versus coming back straight away, you know then that it's proved and it's ready to go. So again, if you make a little indent and it slowly comes back and leaves an indent, it's proved enough. If it bounces back straight away, then you know that it's underproofed. You need to prove for a little bit longer. So again, proving times can vary from what I found, but for this one I had to do it for an hour and 30 minutes. So what we've got to do now before I put it into the oven is glaze it with some beaten egg and honey, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with some sunflower seeds on top. So I already have prepared this. It's like a brown color. I don't know again how well you can see it. So I'm just going to put this over the outside of this one, and then we're going to sprinkle it. I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to turn out, because it's looking good so far, but you know, you never know until the end product and you see what it does look like. But again, this is go all the way on the outside, because this with the honey and the egg will allow the sunflower seeds on the outside to adhere a lot easier. So, and it'll give it a nice dark color finish itself as well. So again, we make sure we're getting it all on the outside. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some sunflower seeds that I kept over. Okay, and so there you can see, hopefully a little bit better. And I'm going to put this into the oven now, and we'll come back once we take it out of the oven. So here they are, fresh out of the oven, a nice golden brown, and I think definitely the honey and the egg wash that you put on them definitely adds to that. Smells good. So I'm going to put them on the cooling rack for about an hour, and then we'll cut into them a little bit later on and give them an actual taste test. So I'm looking forward to it. It said in Mary Berry's Bible cookbook that this was a quick, easy bread to make, and I think overall it was a quite easy, straightforward bake, unlike the Battenberg cake that I did yesterday, which was a little bit complicated. So any questions, leave a comment. Would love to hear from people if you enjoyed the video or not, and hope to make a couple of more and get better at it as we go along, because this is a whole new thing for me. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.